Hello, friends. Just a bit of cautionary wisdom for anyone relying heavily on a green surge in British politics. This follows on from my recent chat with my friend, the Silicone Faerie, which covered the Greens' chance for government. I've asked her to change my voice because my old one, while more authentic, was a bit unpredictable, where I feel those who believe we the Greens can wipe out Labour and either have a landslide vote in 2029 or head up an all-left Rainbow Alliance are incorrect, is that they overlook two parliamentary strongholds, one of these being the very conservative establishment, comprised of the Lords, the upper echelons of the civil service, the Crown and the oligarchy-controlled media. You only have to examine the way this traditional palace guard rallied together, including the centre-right element of the Labour Party, who are now in charge, in order to eject Jeremy Corbyn, the first potential socialist prime minister for decades. There is no guarantee and a certain amount of likelihood that Zach Polanski would suffer a similar fate. The second issue is first past the post, which often makes a nonsense out of voting percentages. It is very possible to have a high vote percentage and not gain enough seats to win. The Greens would have to target specific swing seats, which they would mostly be contesting with Reform in order to gain a significant number of seats. Other issues are that polls often register protest voting and don't reliably predict the outcome of a general election. There is strong evidence that the current voting polls are being subjected to cyber attacks from Russia and other foreign elements, like big oil, who back Reform. This is done by timing specific push topics to coincide with poll canvassing and then manipulating the algorithm to make these anti-Labour topics seem more popular than they actually are, creating local and national reactions. As these are anti-Labour, they boost Reform's apparent popularity, but as the Greens are the only obvious progressive alternative to Labour, they are boosted as a side effect. Those relying on a green revolution are also, I believe, not taking into account the general resistance of the electorate to change. Most people are not particularly politically aware, and many vote from habit or to please their parents, no matter how old they are, or out of a nostalgic view of what specific parties stand for. This alone is likely to gain both Labour and the Conservatives more seats than represented by the polls. Timing is also extremely important. We are currently at Labour's mid-term, when popularity often takes a downturn, so poll results are bound to look a bit off. Labour has several major projects aimed to increase standards of living, which should begin to mature by 2029. And when the election campaigns begin to warm up, the voter intention polls are likely to change quite drastically. All these variables need to be accounted for when predicting the Greens' chances. I am a Green supporter myself, but for all the reasons shared here, at general election time I tend to vote tactically for the option likely to serve the people of Britain best. Trying to overcome the Whitehall deadlock through forcing a hung parliament is a bold but very risky move, and requires a fully informed and well thought out strategy. While what I see seems to be riding the crest of poll-driven excitement, when the very polls involved may be deliberately skewed by external manipulation. This is why I recommend caution and seeking the facts. Moving away from the Greens for now, no one seems to be commenting on the fact that our current obsession with voter intention polls is deeply unusual. We didn't get this every week during the 15-year Tory train crash, did we? Intense focus on voter intention polls is a Reform tactic, and, as I've already pointed out, it is combined with cyber manipulation by hostile outsiders. They are basically making each poll result to be a mini-election to undermine Labour and make them appear to be the people's choice. Something they need to be called out for. I'll end with a suspicion. This is not a prediction, but a heads up. If the May by-elections go badly for Labour, and they probably will, remember this: it is my opinion that Reform will try to use this as an excuse to force through an early general election while they're riding high in the polls. They've already tried this once already, just after the 2024 general election with a preloaded petition, and the Tommy Robinson-Elon Musk crusade have been baying for regime change since last year. So, watch this space. Be well, and watch out for the bots and trolls.